2023 has been a crazy year and a great year for country music. I have a great guest down here with me who, at the beginning of the year, we chatted when she was at the moment just writing songs for Big Loud, and now she's got 13 songs out in the world. I mean, what a change of events in the greatest way. Lauren Watkins is back, and we're here to review the year for her. Lauren, what's going on?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk today. It feels like forever ago that we talked at the beginning of this year. I can't believe that was this year.
I know. I thought it was 2022, and I went back and looked at it, and it was January. I was like, oh shit, it's been a
Crazy.
long year.
Good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, and it's even better that you've got new music out in the world. 13 songs, like I was saying. What's it like for you just having all this music out there?
Well, it finally feels like there's something comes up when you Google me now, which is nice because I was playing a lot of shows where people would be like, "Where do we find you?" And I'm like, "Well, nowhere." Um, so that's nice. But it also just feels good because I've been working on these songs for so long, and I feel like it's been like just a long time coming, and now they're finally out, and people can hear them, and people can get a taste of who I am as a musician. So it's pretty cool.
Well, earlier this year, you put out more notable songs that I'm sure a lot of people know by now, like Camel Blues and Shirley Temple. And recently, you put out two duets out of that newer project with Jake and then Carter Faith. Now, out of all those songs, I just want to ask you, as the artist, do you have a favorite?
This is like, I'm really being honest. I don't have a favorite. And I could probably like, there's definitely some that stand out that I'm most excited about and like that I'm most proud of, but I don't have like a favorite. I mean, I love all of them. I will say Jealous of Jane, I'm really excited about. I've been on the road a lot and playing that one live, and it's the crowd reaction is like unmatched. Like people just relate to it, which is hilarious. And I just love it. I love playing it and I love listening to it. So that one like sticks out to me as the one I'm most like pumped about right now.
Well,
Right now, that changes every day. So
I was just about to say that. That's the beauty of music. I mean, your mood can change at any time, and you could like any different song at whatever time of day it could be.
right.
I'll listen to a
Exactly.
fast song right now. In 5 minutes, I'll listen to freaking Whiskey Lullaby and cry.
Exactly. Same.
Well, for you, you got, like I was saying, the two duets out, one with Jake Worthington, your fellow label mate. I wanted to start with that one. It's called Fly on the Wall. You also put out a music video for it. Where did that decision come from to have you two pair up for the song? Because in my opinion, it was a perfect blend.
Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment. Like getting to work with Jake is so awesome. It wasn't really a decision at all. It was just when I thought of when I started thinking that song needed to be a duet, Jake was my first thought. And all it took was asking him, and he said yes by the grace of God. I genuinely just wanted someone that someone whose music that I love because I love Jake's music. I love him as an artist. I think he's so talented and just doing something that no one else is doing right now. And he's just awesome. And I wanted that song to have a strong male voice on it. And he was my first thought. I was just like, it's got to be Jake. And so he said yes. And that was the decision.
Well, I love it. I mean, when I think of your music and everything you put out so far, you have a kind of like a different sound on almost every song, which kind of, I don't know, kind of opens up the listening lanes for every fan
So
and what they
thank
like.
you.
But the things that stick out,
Compliment.
songs like Fly on the Wall and another one, which I'm about to lead into, it's the other duet, Carter Faith. It's called Cowboys on Music Row. Now,
Hmm.
that song and Fly on the Wall are both very traditional sounding. And
Hmm.
there's a certain meaning behind Cowboys on Music Row. Would you care to let people know what it's about?
Yes. And, I feel like I was hoping that it's pretty self-explanatory. So I think you'll get the gist of it when you hear it, if you haven't heard it yet for the listeners. But yeah, the meaning is, well, I guess the best way to tell the meaning is to tell you the story of how we wrote it, which was me and Carter and a handful of our closest songwriter friends. We were on a writing retreat in Pigeon Forge at the beginning of this year, actually. And one night we were all just sitting around fireplace, kind of writing songs, but kind of just talking about life. And all of us like just love classic country music. And love those songs, love the guys that were doing that. And it was just inspiring to us. And we honestly were talking about how, well, we started watching. Have you ever heard of the show Tales from the Tour Bus?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it though.
Okay, you need to watch it. You would really appreciate this show. It's basically like a cartoon style documentary of like a bunch of old legends and like just tells cool stories about their life on the road. And so, as you can imagine, there's a million like awesome episodes on like Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, George Jones, like all those guys. And so we start watching those videos, and then we get down a rabbit hole of just watching them perform live and just anyway. So we're like talking about how inspiring they were and how they were outlaws and they did this crazy shit and they sang about it. Like they weren't just singing about crazy shit, like they were actually doing it. And they were very authentic, and it was just inspiring to us. And we just kind of bonded over that. And somebody, I don't remember who it was or exactly what they said, but someone said something about like, I wish there were cowboys like that on Music Row. And we all just had the light bulb moment of like, we've got to write that. And so we wrote it immediately, sitting all around the TV watching these videos. And then we wrote the song. And it was really fun because it was like just something that we all bonded over and that we are all very passionate about. And the response on that song has been like so cool because I don't know, it's just one of those things that you don't, it could be feather ruffling, but I don't think it has been at all. I think everybody has like really appreciated it. And even like I always say, I've been playing it live a lot while I'm on the road. And I always say when I play it live, I'm like, this is not a knock at any of the new guys of country, because I am one of the new guys of country, and so is Carter, and so are all the girls that we wrote it with. But it really is just to pay our respects to all the old cowboys on Music Row, and people have been loving it, so I'm very proud of it. And it
Well,
just shows a little bit of like, it shows a little bit of who I am because it kind of shows my history and like some of the music that I grew up listening to. And I don't think that's unique. I think so many people also grew up with that kind of music, like whether it was their parents or their grandparents or whoever got them into it, like people do relate to that. And so it's been cool to get to see the response.
well, it has been a great response. And now that you mentioned growing up listening to all these old stars, do you have like one album that you kept on repeat growing up?
Hmm, let me think. I could literally so many. Tammy Wynette stands out to me. I love her so much. Let's get together one last time. Probably that, or any of the Waylon and Willie joint albums.
Hmm.
Obsessed. Obsessed. Um,
Good
yeah,
choices for
but
that.
also like currently George Jones' greatest hits. Like
I
I'm just a
think
sucker
that
for the
one too.
greatest hits too. So
I've
yeah, all of
I've
those.
been stuck on this one. A lot of the greatest hits from Apple Music, there's like a volume album. There's a song called Treasure of Love that's from like 1955 or something.
Mhm.
It's so good.
Oh my God. I need to dive in today again too. Like I'll get in these random moods where I'm like, you know, when you do that, where you like remember artists that you haven't listened to in a while and you're like, oh my God, I got to just go down a rabbit hole. I'll probably
Well,
do that today when we get off here.
have fun doing it. I've unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, I'm glad I've done it. But I spent over 10,000 minutes of my Apple Music listening to George Strait.
Yes.
And that was about 8 times as much the amount of time as the second most listened to artist. So I was like, oh, God.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So I'm probably going to do the same thing as you too, and probably go listen to 10 years.
Respect. I respect it.
Well, going back to this year and the whole year's review, you got to open for Morgan Wallen earlier this year. Well, not earlier this year, it was a couple months ago. But you're also
No,
going
it feels like it was a year ago.
this year has been a long one. I don't know. It just feels like it's been 2 years long, which is
I
good. We want time to go slow.
I know, I know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you're opening for him next year too. You're also on tour with Connor Smith right now. What's the touring life been like for you, and what do you look forward to the most next year?
Oh my gosh, it's been so fun. Like this whole year I've been on the road pretty much. Like there hasn't really been a season where I've been off the road for very long at least. And it's so fun. It's like all so new to me. And I think one of the coolest things is like I've talked about this a lot, like with my band, especially like when we go on one tour and like going from one tour to the next and like getting to meet all of the different bands and crews that you're touring with, because people don't think about how, like, for example, I went on tour with Lily Rose at the beginning of this year, and we got so tight with her and her band. They're like the best, coolest people in the world. So nice. And then as soon as you get used to it, you're done. And then you're on to the next thing. And so for us, the next thing was festival season, which was so much fun, but like just totally different than like the regular touring schedule. And so that was such a like fun adjustment, like fun to learn. Just when you're playing festivals, it's different every single day. And we got to play like some of the coolest ones. So I was really happy about that. And then moving on into the fall, then we went on tour with Austin Snell, and it was so fun getting to know a whole nother crew of people. And now we're out with Connor Smith, and it's just been crazy. And then we've gotten to do a ton of cool like things in between, like the Morgan Wallen shows, and getting to do a lot more of those next year. So it's so cool. I guess, I mean, when I think about 2024, that's what I think about, is going on tour with Morgan Wallen. So I'm probably most looking forward to that.
Well, to put it in perspective, I know a lot of people have caught this from social media and stuff, but he's been seen on stage wearing your hats.
Yes.
I've seen it. So now you're going to go from having him wear your hats on stage to being on that stage next year.
I
So
know we're gonna have to, maybe I'll have to get him a new hat to wear. Sport a new one around to
oh,
sell.
why not? Well, I'm going to spin this thing around that you were talking about before, Tales of the Tour Bus. Now I want to go with that to you. Do you have any fun tales from the tour bus? That maybe
Let's see.
like really fun story that you could share?
Well, mine are tales from the tour van right now. I'm working towards a bus. Um, I'm trying to think. I guess like I can't even I would I'm sure I could think of like a specific memory, but honestly, like I just love my band so much. They are like the best guys, and they're so fun, and they love each other so much, which is fun too. Like we're just like such a good vibe together. I would say one of my favorite things about like our van rides, our tour van rides, is my manager Melanie comes out with us a lot. And so typically the flow is like in the front few seats is the guys, my band, the three guys, and they all talk with each other like up in the front seat. God knows what they're talking about. And then me and Melanie will like gossip in the back. And then they'll hear something, they'll be like, what are y'all talking about? Like, give us the tea, give us the tea. And it's just fun. We're like just all best friends. And I never thought, I mean, like, I always looked forward to that kind of touring when I was younger, but I never imagined it being actually like as fun as it is, and how like we all are really best friends. And it's just cute. It's just
Love
so
it.
fun.
It's like a little happy family.
It is. It is.
That's good to hear. Well, as the year comes to a close, I don't really know how to say that it's coming to a close because today is December 8th that we're talking right now. We're very close to the new year. Other than the Morgan tour, do you have anything that you're looking forward to the most in the new year?
More music. Other than the Morgan tour, I'm looking forward to more music. I'm so proud of everything we put out this year, and the response that it's been getting is just making me want to keep going and just keep um writing more and recording more and doing more. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm already have some things up my sleeve,
All right.
and I just can't wait. More to come.
Love
I'll
it.
leave
Love
it
it.
at that.
Well, I'm going to leave it on this note. If you're still watching this, which you should be, because it's been a very fun interview, you should follow Lauren on Instagram, TikTok, every other social media platform that she's on. If you haven't streamed any of her 13 songs, clearly you don't listen to country music because it is the top of the game right now. If I could say anything right now about Lauren as an artist, she's got everything you're looking for and all different kind of sounds. And if you like that traditional country sound, go listen to Fly on the Wall, go listen to Cowboys on Music Row. Hopefully there's more of that to come because I'm loving it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Lauren Watkins, everybody. Go follow her. See you guys next time. Happy almost 2024. We're getting old.
We are.